it's nice. Thank you.
Word City Council
Roscoe, I
meeting
really am
dated
sorry.
I'll be sure to pass that along next to this
2/10,
person I meet.
1986. Start this meeting off by welcoming everybody in attendance and the council and all the newly seated council members. We can start. Heck, I can start. I'll go first.
Yeah, pledge.
Undo the Pledge of Allegiance. All right. Who's leading it? You, Tim?
You. Jazz, he brought it up.
I'm a bitch.
Come on, Jazz.
Oh.
You brought it up. Why don't you go ahead and finish it up?
Yeah, you brought it up.
There you go.
Everyone, please face the American flag for the Pledge of Allegiance.
One right there.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
Flag?
United States of America,
Wait, we're on Los
and the
Santos.
republic for which it stands,
One
one
what?
nation,
We're only one.
indivisible, with liberty
what?
and justice
Justice?
for all.
Wait, is that Chaz? I know that guy.
My name is Chase Reeves Mayor. This week I would like to present the bill. I placed it in the council meeting, the San Andreas Security Bureau Act of 1986. The purpose of this act is to serve to codify and delineate the duties and responsibilities and limitations of the San Andreas Security Bureau within the state of San Andreas. This act will ensure that the state of San Andreas has a functioning, dedicated staff of government entity that provides security and protective services for buildings around on the grounds of the state of San Andreas. This bill has been talked about many weeks over course of Caputo and I's standing in the city since he was AG and I was mayor. We've talked about this bill, so this is just to put it in writing the jurisdiction of the SASB. They're already referenced in the Constitution as protecting the grounds for the act that I got passed for the college. They're already listed as security there. They already provide security for the hospital. They already provide security for City Hall. This is just pretty much codifying it and putting in the Constitution their duties and responsibilities and granting them authority on said grounds. You have any questions? I am open for questions about the bill from the people and from the council and the judiciary.
Who is currently leading the SASB?
It's currently in flux right now, but in its transitional period right now, Ben is kind of overseeing the transition, but the director has been appointed.
So, in regards to the implementation of the SASB at these locations, they function as the authority when it comes to the public safety, and if a situation were to arise where law enforcement would be called onto scene, then SASB would step aside and assist with law enforcement to take over as far as jurisdictional
If you're asking, do the police have overriding authority over the SASB on governmental grounds, the answer is yes.
Cool.
The police will always have jurisdiction. It's still their city, right? This is just an appointed body to help secure the governmental grounds within the city. Kind of, I guess.
Use her outdoor voice.
You know, in the instance of a state trooper example, they would step in when a jurisdictional conflict arises, or when an incident involves a non-municipal level incident, such as a government-related incident or some other kind of high-profile, high-risk situation.
Yeah, well,
This-
they're right. Good.
This would just basically mean that the SASB functions as the authorities in these small uh, places when a need arises, that they would be the first ones to get called and appointed to um, as enforcing rules, regulations, laws, and protection.
Correct. And their detainment, if you look at the sections about detainment, they're not granted a lot of leniency to detain very long at all. They're not the police, right? And that's not the intent of this bill, nor are they going to supersede any sheriff, right? Because the sheriff is taking care of the entire state, right? The sheriff's department. This is just for, you're right, city grounds, and in their limited capabilities, they'll have authority to help evacuate during fires and bomb threats and stuff like that. And grant them the authority to take charge in those situations and to get the job done and to have some
Sure.
kind of backing and teeth behind it.
Yeah, in Article 4, Section E, the second sentence, the SASB may only detain individuals deemed to be a threat per SOPs. When it comes to those SOPs, could those be included in this subsection? And would you be open to changing the wording from may to shall, giving them permission to detain individuals they deem a threat, instead of it being leaving it kind of open?
What article and section again?
Article 4, Section E.
The
Grant of
SASB, while
authority.
Go ahead.
The Section E states the SASB, while a government entity, is not law enforcement. The SASB may only detain individuals deemed to be a threat per SOPs. As far as SOPs goes for the SASB, if a inclusion of what constitutes detainment or a deeming of a threat included in this as either a subsection to kind of enumerate that they can detain someone, or be granted the authority to detain someone while not functioning as law enforcement, but still maintaining a government status.
Well, I think the use of the word may is a good use there, because that grants the leniency of the SASB to have that authority in the scene to figure that out. If you put the verbiage, I fear that'd be too constrictive, and not grant the SASB the wherewithal to make that decision themselves on the scene.
Okay, I'm sure the judiciary will have more of a finer filter to kind of push this through.
Yeah. You had a second request though. What was your second request?
No, that was it.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? No. Then I'll move the questions to the people. Does anyone have any questions about this bill?
Hi, Billy Falco. I guess my question is, if this bill is just being proposed now, under what authority were they previously operating?
Under the authority of the AG. I believe this was written in the. Correct me if I'm wrong. And we do. Ben is here. He could speak to the authority previously, but they're under the purview of the AG.
Okay.
Deputy Benjamin Riggs Zanoli. I am the former director of the San Andreas Security Bureau. To answer Mr. Falco's question, it was a joint effort between the judicial branch, the Los Santos Police Department, as well as the Attorney General's office. It was a combined effort over 6 months, and they came to an agreement to where where the SASB was given limited authority over government buildings and any premises that were deemed necessary.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That was they used until the ratification. They're using what the marshal the clause
Yeah.
under the AG and the marshal, right, for the power governing your government.
That
power,
is
right?
correct. Yes.
All right. All right.
Any other questions for me regarding that?
Appreciate it, Ben.
Hmm.
Did I say deputy? Anyone else have any questions? No? All right. So if there's no more questions, ask the council, do you have enough information to rule on this bill? Or you guys can do, for the new people, you can do a table, you can motion to table it, you can say don't feel like you have enough information. But, so
yeah, as someone who's
I
been
agree.
around since the inception of this, yeah, I think it's awesome. I'm ready.
Yep.
all right. So
I do have a question when it comes to it. Has this been formally reviewed by the Chief Justice?
not formally reviewed, but I have talked to the AG a lot, but not formally presented to the Chief Justice.
Okay, just checking.
That's a good question. I don't know if the Chief Justice would like to speak on this bill, but I'm going to take that as a no. So,
Me too.
yeah, we're going to go ahead and, since the council has no issue, we're going to move this to a vote. With a show of hands, really high up, all of those in favor of the San Andreas Security Act, raise your hand.
Wait, do we
All right, let the
raise our
record
hand?
show the bill passed unanimously. Moving forward, I don't have
okay.
any more
Feels
to
like I'm supposed
present
to
to
do
the
homework.
council. I will present this bill to the judiciary for judicial review, and we'll keep the council abreast of the situation. All right, so moving forward, I usually go either left to right or right to left, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it up to you guys. Does anyone like to go first?
I'll go first. Hello, my name is Councilman Chaz Riverfox. I'd like to issue a statement in regards to an update on Project Desert Flowers. After reaching out to federal authorities in regards to my proposal to improve the health and vibrancy of Sandy Shores, I sadly come with less than ideal news. Project Desert Flowers is being suspended indefinitely. My goal is to encourage and shine light onto communities that don't get their time in the sun, to bring those areas of our city and state into the forefront. Sandy Shores is a great place for the right people, and I encourage anyone to give the town under the watchful eye of Chiliad a chance. There's plenty of opportunities for anyone willing to give that oasis a chance, and I want to thank those that spoke with me on this project. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your feedback on this project, and I am always open to bring new and underutilized sections of this city and state forward for some revitalization, or at the very least, a chance to present themselves. Thank you.
All right, appreciate the statement. Does any council members have a statement for the statement?
Yeah, it's Chaz's valiant effort, and don't give up on it, man.
All right, yeah, it's true. Don't give up on any of this stuff.
Yeah, give us for quitters.
In due time, Chaz.
Yeah, I think just accept
Hold on
what we
to
can
it.
change. Yeah, accept what we can change and move on forward with stuff we can't. And
The
forget about that
energy's
stuff,
been
you
put
know.
out there into the universe, and I can only hope that the universe takes that energy and comes up with
Settle
something
down, hippie.
better.
Did the people have anything else?
As hippie as that shit was, the people of Sandy appreciate it.
I appreciate that. All right, moving forward. So, does anyone else want to go next?
Robert Danob, City Councilman. I don't really have any legislation today because I don't really think it needs a legislation. I think it's just something that should be. Let me ask, and with no disrespect to any of the councilmen who's presenting anything or has presented anything, what is our biggest problem in this city? What is our biggest need in this city?
I need
And what
money.
are we and what are we
You're
doing
opening
as
that question to
councilmen to
everyone?
help? Well, yes. Well, let me put out an answer, my answer, and let's see if anybody agrees with me. The population. We need to work
Wait.
on improving the population in this city. Does anyone disagree that that isn't the biggest problem in this city?
I do not.
Does anybody in the audience disagree with that?
As long as they give me money, that's fine.
I think I'm going to hide here for a second while I collect my thoughts because that person just threw me off. There, I feel better now. Thank you. Needed a moment there. Basically, what I'm saying is I think we as a council and we as a community should do whatever we can do to try to help the population grow. And one of the ways,
give me an idea.
one of the ways
what
we
are
can
those
do
things?
that, yeah, I'm getting there. Let me get there, sir. I'm making my statement. Thank you. But one of the ways that I think we as a community and as a city council can do it is through a welcome wagon for the newcomers that come into the city. How many people have you met in the city that were new to the city that you never heard from again? We're all have been in this city for the first time. We all know what it's like. Unless you knew a bunch of people when you flew in here, this city takes some getting used to. And the more we as a community can help these people that come in and probably leave because the city's intimidating, make connections quicker, learn a little more about the city, be a little more open to the new people. And I think we should work together, all together as a community and council, to make sure that that happens. Now, my idea is to have a welcome center at the LSIA and in City Hall, and using the technology that they use for ballots on the elections, put some permanent interactions at both of the locations. So when new people come in, they can get a pamphlet and maybe even a videotape that the community can put together. Just giving the basic information of how you can get around a little easier, where you can find a job, maybe get some volunteers to be on a list to where, hey, you need to learn how to do this job. You know, you need a little direction where you want to go in the city. Contact this person and they'll help you out. We all need to work together to do what we can in this community to help grow this community. So,
So you're proposing a
continue.
tourism board?
No. Let me
Oh,
finish.
sorry. Go. I'm sorry.
You done with your statement? You have more to say?
well, I mean, I want to know your question now.
Well, no. It's more of a statement. First, I'm glad you realize that the welcome wagon does not need to be a bill. It's definitely
Yeah,
not
it's
need to
just
be a
that no.
I am all for any type of interaction with anyone coming off of the plane, from past, present, future.
Yeah,
If
but
you have
yeah, but I get where you're coming from. I'm sorry to interrupt, but here's where my problem is. Okay, I don't know how to make up ballots. I don't know how to make it interact with the ballots or the pamphlets. I don't know how to make a video. I don't know all of these things, but I know people in this community do know how to do that. And if we all work together on a project like this to show that we're doing the best that we can to help this community grow.
Oh, you're all right, sir. I mean, you spin around a lot. You're not dizzy.
Well, because I
I'm
like
dizzy
talking to the
watching you
people.
spin.
I understand why people don't like to turn their backs.
Councilman Dana,
Yes.
question.
Yeah.
I've heard you bring this up quite a bit before, and I'm very, very much for the welcome wagon. Just out of curiosity, how much footwork have you put into it? How much have you like? I know some of the people in the audience, some of the citizens here have offered to help you, how much have you gone to go and talk to them and get something started? Because I know you wanted to start here at City Hall. How much have you done on that to at least get that groundwork?
To this point, very, very, very little besides thinking of the ideas and thinking of how I can help the community best to, you know, make the community better by getting the
And
community involved. It's an idea that I've been working on.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm like I said, I'm very much for it. I'm not against you on it. But as the council member bringing it forward, shouldn't you try and talk to those people to push it past this stage of ideas?
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm talking to the council. I'm talking to the people in the audience right now, telling them
Well,
my idea and what the needs are and any suggestions. Once again, this isn't just a me thing. Everybody's experience in the city is pretty unique, but it's also the same. They know what would have helped them in the city
So
might be totally different from what I know.
let me square something away though. What do you need from us? I can get you in touch with someone that can make flyers and do all of that.
All
What
I
do
need
you
from
request
all
from
I
me?
need from the city council is saying yes, we set up the the Los Santos welcome wagon.
Well, you'd be hard pressed to find someone in the council to be against this idea.
Okay.
So,
Well, I didn't think I was arguing with any of you. Trust me.
No, no. I'm just saying that because you already have our support. If it's ideas and stuff that you want to deliver to the city, by all means, let's have a sit down, get those ideas on paper,
But
and start doing them.
wouldn't a venue like this be the best place to do that?
Not entirely. I would not agree with this. The best venue. I think my hope and what I envision for the council on matters of this is we lobby, you talk to each other in between council meetings, you iron all this stuff out, much like when you write a bill. We're not sitting here writing bills in front of the people. We'll present the bills in front of the people, which are our plan, right? But we don't sit there and write the bill in front of them.
Yeah, and I understand that. And like I said, this isn't a bill. This is basically. I'm just basically asking you for.
Really as an example.
No, I get you. No, I agree with what you're saying from that example. But all I'm asking for from the council itself is just a okay on the establishment of the Los Santos welcome wagon or whatever you want to call it.
You have my okay, Councilman Bradford.
Yeah, it
Hey,
seems.
go
ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say that I'm in agreement with the mayor here when it comes to getting getting that motivation to get something up and going and kind of showcasing that this is what you're working on and this is what you're going for. It's certainly good to bring up as here's my intentions and here's my project, who's with me, but it's sort of like saying that you're hungry for pizza, but you still haven't decided which pizzeria you want to go to. You know, it's about getting something that says, I want this to happen, and get everyone behind your support, and then it gets into a situation where you need to set up of like who's going to be responsible for what. Ginning up support for something is a great venue is great for this venue, but it does need to have something more solid in like a sit down round table type situation.
I'll tell you
So
what,
that's
I'll tell you what. You're so passionate about this, and I have the power to make executive orders. You want to be in charge of this project, then you be in charge of this project. All right. I want you to be in charge of the welcome wagon. You go ahead and get some lists of stuff together. We'll get together. We'll figure out what kind of resources I can get to you to make this thing happen. How does that sound?
Yeah, I mean that sounds awesome, and I thank you, and I would gladly accept it.
Congratulations.
But well, thank you very much. But in the same token, like I said, I don't want this just to be a city council thing. You know,
no, it won't be.
You keep. All right. I'm through speaking.
Say again.
I am through speaking.
All right. Okay. Does the council have any questions or concerns or comments about Daynob's statement about the welcome wagon? And let's want to establish it.
No. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. All for it.
yeah.
Awesome. The people. Does the people have anything to say to Councilmember Daynob concerning this passion?
Yeah, if it's population, we should just outlaw birth control.
If
Mr.
you
Mayor,
wanna,
I'm sorry. I gotta.
you gotta come to the. Who's speaking?
What?
I'm sorry. It was me, Mr. Mayor. I had to reply to your statement
Statement.
about my passion.
Yeah,
And
this is your.
what
is
you know?
your
No,
passion.
I understand, but what I don't understand is why that's not more of a passion for all of us. We all want this community to be successful. We all
Camera
want
on?
it to grow. Not necessarily even have to be my idea. This should be a passion for all of us, whatever
Cool.
our idea is. This isn't a
Please.
me thing. I think this should be an us thing.
Please do not confuse my last comment about my passion or lack thereof for the city. I assure you, my passion runs deep for this city.
Everyone expresses
I
they.
do not. Yeah, I do not deny that at all. Trust me, Chase. I know more than most what you've done for the city. I do not deny that at all.
I
I'm
think
just
everyone
saying
here.
that we all should have this passion. You know, it's.
I agree.
We all do. That's why we're all here.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's literally a situation where each of us has pride in the city and a want for it to do well, but some of us just show it and present that and display it in different ways, or have other avenues to kind of showcase that. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
make no
people just
mistake,
show.
Just bring the list to
Not-
me or
not
any kind of
all the
resources
way.
I have at my disposal, and we'll make it happen.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yep.
No worries. No worries.
Yeah. Like some
Appreciate
people show like
All right,
their enthusiasm.
Excuse me, sir. Your name and.
Oh,
your city.
I'm Jimmy. Hi.
Jimmy. Pleasure to meet you,
Yeah.
Jimmy.
Hey, that's nice meeting you. Yeah, I was saying, yeah, if we want population increase, like we just need to outlaw birth control. Like I think that's probably the way to go there.
I'm sure that's not something the council should be talking about.
But
Jimmy,
just-
I don't think you
I'm
have
like
to worry about
100%
ever
sure
having
of
these
that.
What?
birth control.
I have no
control
comment on
man.
that one.
no. But we said we're more about population, and like that's, I don't know. It seems like that's a viable. Like I feel like I'm not being heard here.
Well, no. Population increases via passports and customs and such.
Oh, immigration. That's what you're
Well,
talking
this
about.
was more of,
Oh,
a,
okay.
more of a long-term sort of solution. We need something
Yeah,
short-term.
exactly.
Get folks back in the city. Get kids excited about going outside and enjoying life here in reality instead of sitting inside playing on that dang Atari ColecoVision or whatever. We got
Oh,
we gotta
Nintendo.
get kids outside. Dang it!
Oh, Nintendo's amazing though, but don't knock Nintendo. That's like awesome. Like I don't know what that guy's talking about, but anyway. Okay, well, fine, thank you.
All right.
Oh, excuse me.
Appreciate your
Oh God,
comment.
I'm trapped.
Welcome to City Council.
Sorry, excuse me.
All right.
Hello, can I talk now?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, you can.
Okay. So I need to state my name right. My name is Cynthia Green. I just wanted to state that I agree with Mr. Daynob here, and I'm a little confused why it's such an issue of him bringing his idea here. Him presenting his idea here makes people like me who make pamphlets and stuff, hear about it, and since we're hearing about it here, we can, go to him after this to say, hey, we're interested in this idea, and that's all I wanted to state.
No, I understand. So it's not that it's it's in the best interest of the city if he brings up what he's working on. That's why I ask every council member to talk about what they're working on. What I meant was we didn't need to get into the weeds about the making of the sausage here in front of everybody. We could work on the list and everything, getting resources like yourself in line and all of that. We don't need to have a city council discussion about that. We can have that throughout the week or behind closed doors and get the plans laid out. It's just going through everything and every list in council. I don't feel it's a good use of our time. Now at the end, sure, when we open up the floor and we have time, maybe we can dig deeper into that. But that's kind of what the point of that was. Not that he was wrong bringing it up. It's more of that we, here we don't want to go through every step.
And let me say, Mr. Mayor, I do understand and see where you're coming from. I do apologize to the council.
No, don't
Because I did not proceed to take those steps beforehand. I do apologize.
No. Don't apologize. It's just, it'll make it. We'll be here for 2 hours and maybe get a little bit of that thing done, and we can knock some of that stuff out and work on it as we should outside of the council. But but you don't have the full support. You have the mayor's office support. You have the council support.
buddy.
You know what I mean.
I'm here with you, bro.
Yeah. So
Right.
does
yeah,
that
right now,
make sense, ma'am? I don't want to give the wrong impression.
And,
Yeah,
and
that's
yes,
fine.
I definitely want to talk to you afterward. By the way, I'm glad
there
you
you
came
go.
up and said something. Thank you very much.
All right.
Mr. Danob, you basically what you're doing is you're using the council here as you're sort of putting up the dartboard, and once council is done, then we can start throwing the darts at it. But
Exactly.
it's important to have that target out there in the open so people know what to aim for.
Yes.
Hello,
All right.
my name
Can you speak
is...
up, sir?
Hello, my name is Leaf, and I work at the hospital. And I apologize if I'm bringing more of the darts, but I shall make my aim quick. At least I have been. Whenever somebody new to the city comes to the hospital, I've been taking them on a free tour around the city, introducing them, and myself and Casey King just an hour ago purchased an apartment building down on near the beach that we are planning to renovate into a hostel to get new people situated. So, Councilman Danob, I assume I shall expect your call. Thank you.
In fact, part of my idea is to have a list of names with postal codes on a contact sheet for them. So if they need to meet up and meet someone and help them on their path, they'll have people already lined up for it. So yes, I will definitely be talking to you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your comment. Thank you. All right. So any more comments for Councilmember Danob? No. All right. Moving forward. Who's the next council member would like to come to the podium and speak?
Let me go ahead and stand up here. It's my cue.
God, that take him a lot of effort to stand up. Be okay.
Good morning, good afternoon, good midday to everyone here today. My name is Councilman Tim Bradford. A few things, but I think we're going to cut straight to the T. The one.
You want a little bit of foreplay?
Absolutely. There was a few things that I did have at my public forum. I did have some questions that I did want to bring up here beforehand. Just kind of see where the status of some things are that have been brought up previously, that were brought to me when I had a forum this past Thursday, from some of the citizens and my constituents.
All right.
Let me pull up my notes here. So one question that was asked to me was about renter property rights and laws. It was approved a while ago, and somebody wanted to know what the status of that was, if it's going to be put into law. And they said
the judiciary. Would you point that question to the judiciary?
It was pointed at you and the judiciary. Apparently, it was you two were. This is before my term, and this is something that was brought to me when I talked to them, and they wanted to get a status quote on that and where we're at on that.
All right. Well, we'd have to check with the judiciary. So, I'm not cheating my own horn. There's a lot of bills that have been passed, so I don't know exactly where every step of the ones are. But
okay, I mean, I can definitely get with you guys later on that one.
Yeah, we can go behind closed doors and look it up. Look at the docket, see where it is.
Okay.
Behind closed doors. That's dirty.
Another one that was brought to me is a question for the mayor's office, which was the DMV separating from the mayor's office. Is this something that is happening? Apparently, this is the news around, and they wanted the people wanted to know if this is something that is happening.
I was pointed to staff it, and it's been under my office. There hasn't been any plans to remove it from my office, as far as I know. There are talks behind the scenes, or it was brought up to me that we might run it differently, but I have not made any decisions on that.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And one more question. Well, actually, it's not even a question. It was something that was done this week. I would like to thank the City Hall staff for doing it, and hopefully we can continue to do it going forward. Is the flyers for City Council meetings to make them more known. Civilians would like to know when the City Council meetings are for that week, so if we can have more flyers posted when those times are coming up as we get closer to the meetings at the end of the week on Saturdays. These were the some of the things that were brought up.
Oh, awesome. All right. Well, I hope you got the answers to the ones I could answer, and then I want to commend you for taking your time and listening to the people.
Absolutely. So this next one that I'm going to be bringing up is a hot topic, one that was brought up to me by multiple people. I am still going to have it reviewed. This is in early stages. I presented it to you all on your desks. It was the Traffic Signal Reform Act of 1986. Ugh. I know this is a very hot topic, and I know I'm going to have some comments, but what it's looking at is to where the traffic signals I'm trying to think of how to word this correctly. I might even read it verbatim. Right now, traffic signals are very lengthy in this time. We understand that everybody waits at the traffic light, and waits for it to go through. Sometimes it takes longer than other times. We are looking to possibly try and amend the traffic light to more of a go to the traffic light, wait 5 seconds, then proceed through after the timing is clear. It's more written out in the bill itself, but that is just the general synopsis of it. I have copies of the bill if need be, but this is very in the early stages. I would like to talk to Chief of Police and get with the Chief Justice on it as well to amend it to where it would work, but also where it would help the city and people flow through a lot better and a lot easier. This has been a hot topic. I'm still working on it. It's very in the early stages, but it is something I am working on.
Okay. I know you weren't abreast of the entire discussion about traffic lights in the council.
I was only around for I've heard about the last one. I didn't realize it was so much brought up beforehand many other times.
Yeah.
But
different iterations and different subject matters, but traffic and traffic lights have been the bane of the council's existence, but it's definitely been brought up a lot. So I do, yes, please talk to the sheriff, talk to justice, and then bring, in my experience, my advice to you would be to bring something after that fact to the council.
Absolutely. I just want to state my intent on that build so you know that it is something that I will be working on, and I will be meeting with all of the necessary parties to hope to get this passed. And I mean hope. But it is something that was brought to me from my constituents, and I want to make sure that it is at least followed through on, and I do my due diligence and do my paperwork. So I'll put a rough draft on all of your desks so you all can read it over as well. And if anyone from the public would like to see it, it will be printed in the Weasel newspaper, if I'm correct. And or if we need a copy of it, I do have a few copies on hand if need be.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like a solid plan. I think that's the best route for you to take.
One last thing I will mention is I will also still be working on a Chamber of Commerce for the business owners in the county, not just the city, the entire county of San Andreas. I'm still working on that. I did have some problems. I was not able to draft anything up or work on anything like that due to yesterday's brain issues, but I'm okay.
Glad your brain's over.
And that'll be it.
All right. Does the council have any questions for the councilman here?
That was that ugly. My head hurt too.
That's good.
Just want to reiterate and support what we spoke about earlier before the meeting about how this puts it sort of in line with stop signs up in Blaine County, where once you approach a stop sign, that you wait 5 seconds if there is traffic or not traffic, and then proceed through the intersection. So I think putting putting the traffic laws of Los Santos in parity with the rest of the state is a good venture to explore.
And I do hope that you do read at the bottom where I do have the sunset clause in there. If this was no longer deemed necessary, that would allow it to be in effect where this act can be removed. So I did state that in there, and I do have it in there, and that is something we can always work on or re-amend or readjust. I would like to see some change on this myself.
All right. Well,
And I can tell you, I support it 100%. But
yeah, the council has proven
Yeah,
that they
yeah,
support the
it's,
idea. But like I said, talk to the sheriff, talk to the chief justice, present us with something that, well, is good in all those counts, and we can move this forward.
Absolutely.
All right.
Any questions
Any
from the?
questions for Timothy here from the people?
Oh, I sure have one.
Oh, there we go. Or maybe two.
Oh, there's going to be several actually. First and foremost, hi, I'm Vinny Magananzo, Chief Justice, Chief Dream Crusher. First to Mr. River Fox's point, having the same laws that we do in Harmony, Grapeseed, Sandy Shores, Polito, and having them in line with Los Santos. Are you suggesting that we should have brandishing and open carry within the city limits?
Hell
So-
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's obviously
yeah, it's a good idea.
no, it's a horrible idea.
I support.
If you ain't got a felony, you should have the right to bear arms.
Finally, people are talking.
I didn't answer. Who?
Yeah. This is
who's
what happens.
hollering?
This is the problem with
I mean, for
democracy.
traf-
First of all.
But the question.
Secondly, sorry, sir. You said that you want this in line with stop signs. I will actually happily tell you that the stop signs and the way that they are handled up north are exactly the same way that they're handled in this city. If you stop at a stop sign, you must wait at least 5 seconds or when traffic is clear before you proceed. So I don't know what you need to make more even in that regards, but I will absolutely let you know that they are the same. Number one. Number two, Mr. King. Mr. Bradford. Mr. Bradford.
Wow. Okay.
I have some questions about your draft here that I have read. In the let me just pull this up real quick. Great. Okay. It says here that the current traffic signal infrastructure in Los Santos is insufficient and poorly maintained. Have you been given any sort of report by any sort of logistics company or third-party investigator into the infrastructure of the city as a whole?
I have at this time have not. Just from
Okay.
the citizens.
Okay, great. In terms of the law-abiding citizens, I do notice that in nowhere in this bill is the mention of pedestrians. Are pedestrians part of this bill?
Pedestrians are may not be placed in the bill, but they are part of the bill. Yes.
Okay, so pedestrians should just hope for the best when they come
No,
to an
that's-
intersection.
That's why we have a 5-second stop, because if you see pedestrians, they should have the right of way. And if I
No,
need to add
no,
that to
sir.
the bill,
No, sir. The
I
green
should add
lights
that
and
to
the
the-
traffic signals have the right of way. Now, let's say in a scenario that somebody is cruising along at the speed limit, because we're all law-abiding citizens, as the bill states. They are cruising through an intersection, and it's a green light for them, and somebody has waited their 5 seconds, and they decide to just start moving through the intersection, causing a T-bone accident. Who would be at fault?
well, at that time, all lights would be
All lights would
traffic
be
stops.
considered green at that
No,
point.
all lights
right?
would be considered traffic stops at that point. So that means
Absolutely
no
not.
matter
That's
where
not
you're
what
coming
this says,
from.
sir. This does not say anything. It just says when you come to a red light,
Well,
you
that's-
must wait 5 seconds and then go. It does not
Absolutely.
say anything about green lights in the perpendicular flow of traffic.
And that's why this is a draft that I will be bringing
Oh.
to you
Oh,
for adjustments and amendments. This is me bringing it
you
forward.
have history of all of the other bills that have been presented and passed by city council as a current city councilman. Do you not?
I do. And
Okay.
I
Over the
read
other
I read up to a
4
point.
times that this has been passed through have you considered any of the other past failings of those being put into law before you drafted this bill?
I did read up on one before, and I stated I have had brain issues, but I'm not going to use that against it. I am working on it, and I still will be drafting it through and making amendments if
brain
needed.
issues against it.
Okay. I do see here it also says that this should be cited as the Traffic Signal Reform Act of 1984. Is that correct?
Yes.
I need to change that. It's 1986.
Oh, I meant 6. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
That says brain issues. It's okay.
Where does a law-abiding citizen have to go in such a hurry that they cannot stop for a red light?
Have you ever blown through a red light yourself, Mr. Manzanago?
Absolutely. We've all done it.
No cop,
Absolutely.
no stop.
Have you gotten a ticket for it at all?
I absolutely have gotten the ticket for it.
I've never gotten a ticket for it.
Well, I mean, some people I guess are just lucky. But I've absolutely gotten tickets for it.
Where were
and
you
I've not complained.
where were you in a hurry for that matter?
That's true. It's true. There was no legal reason for me to.
Where you stated that. Where do you need to be in a hurry? Where were you in a hurry at?
I was just driving through the light to go to a delivery for my place of business, which I will not advertise here because that's not the forum. However, when I have been pulled over, I didn't say, "Well, come on, man, I was really in a hurry. This is it was an unnecessary delay, so I had to just go through it." Or I didn't just scream uncontrolled intersection and blast right through it. Or I didn't say, well, I sat here for 5 seconds and that was long enough, so I just went. Speaking of 5 seconds, who's counting the 5 seconds?
The driver.
The driver. Okay, so when a police officer pulls over a driver and they say, well, I was sitting there for 5 seconds, it's not my fault you didn't see me. We are supposed to just take their word for it?
I mean, the police officer can use it at their discretion. If they feel like they weren't at the light for 5 seconds, that is up to the officer and their discretion itself.
Oh, okay. And so,
feelings.
yeah, are we just like legalizing feelings? Is that the issue? Is that I felt it was 5 seconds. In my soul, I felt like I was there for an eternity. Therefore,
Would you rather me yell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
That is not 5 seconds, actually. Do you have a watch with you, sir? Can you time that for 5 seconds exactly?
I was summing it up.
Because then you're just feeling 5 seconds, right? So there's no actual standard 5 seconds here. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like we're just doing everything based on feeling.
Okay.
Okay. I see the champion of this bill, Mr. We need nuclear fucking silos at every bus stop. Sorry for my language. I know we have decorum. Has an opinion. I'd love to rehash this again for the 5th or 6th time. Please, the floor is yours.
Does anyone else have any statements on the?
Oh yeah, I do. My name's Jimmy.
Hold on.
Nice to meet you, Jimmy.
Hold on.
Hold on. Councilmember? Go ahead.
So yeah, this has gone through council like 4 times, correct? Okay.
Probably more.
Wrong one.
Okay. So each time it's rejected, are you told why it's rejected, or are you just told no?
I would say honestly, but probably a mixture of both. The last ones were pretty explicit. I believe the last ones have had Chief Justice come up and tell the bill writer exactly what's wrong with it.
And so, Timothy, while I am 10,000% behind you, my question to you is, what in this bill is going to change the mind of the people or the person or the people who have said no 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times? That's my one question to you.
Hopefully working with them and amending it to where it would be good for all parties. That's the main antagonist for this bill is the Chief Justice, and if I can get it to where the Chief Justice, the Chief of Police, feel it is good enough, then I feel like that's the best course for it.
I think that's the only route.
Absolutely, and that's why I said I will be talking with them. I'm just presenting the bill today, and that's
good.
And please don't get discouraged. I mean,
no, absolutely not.
Any piece of legislation, I wouldn't be here.
That's good water.
Every council meeting.
No.
Anyways, so yes. You have anything else, or go ahead, sir.
Oh, sorry. Is it my turn?
Yeah, now it's your turn.
Oh, hi, I'm Jimmy again. Yeah, so I don't know, like what's so hard about stoplights and just like following them, and then like if there are, and forgive me for the officers that are here because that's Officer Reese and Riggs. They're pretty cool, but like no cop, no stop. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you got to be in a rush, but sometimes you're gonna get pulled over, and that's gonna be okay. You're gonna deal with it, and it's gonna be all right. You know. So you can stop at the red light. I think it's okay, or you can go through it. Do what you like. But if they catch you, you're gonna get a ticket.
Just to be clear, the council does not condone breaking any traffic laws at any time.
I'm just saying, it's free will.
That is true. That is true. You have the free will to break the law. The police, the sheriff has the authority to arrest you. So
Yeah. So I'm just saying, I feel like this whole thing that I mean, like it's like just basically saying like, hey, yeah, we're gonna break this specific law just for I don't know because I'm tired of waiting. Well, if you're tired of waiting, you just go. And if you get stopped, well, I'm sorry, that's on you. Anyway, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I in the sake of this whole argument, I fall on both sides. Like I do think. Well, I'll just put it in this side of it. As Chief Justice said, pedestrians matter as well. Let those heads get together, figure this bill out, move forward with some kind of legislation, if at all, that the three that you guys can all come up with and agree on and present to the council. Anything else you have to present to us, Timothy?
That'll be it for today.
All right. Appreciate your time. All right, moving on. Who is left? Who is next?
Barry and Dr. Cat, one of the two.
You can.
Sorry, I couldn't hear her.
Yeah.
Yep, you can step up into the
podium, tell us you have
old
nothing.
plate.
Hello, everyone. Dr. Cat. I have nothing to present at this time. I'm really happy you're all here, and thank you for supporting the mayor's amendment this day. Thank you.
Appreciate it. I do have a question for you.
Whoa.
Just
Yeah.
On the, you have talked to the Chief Justice about the what is it? I forget what bill it was called, but it had to do with repeat offenders on government officials concerning the hospital.
I think yes, and he said that he was working on something as well.
Perfect. Because Chief Justice does agree, and he has mentioned that previously. All right, I just want to get a status for that.
On mine?
Yeah, that you had spoken to the Chief Justice about it, and that you had seen or heard.
Well, it's basically just a change in verbiage. Just one word needs to be changed, and that's all it needs to be. That's it. Just one word needs to be changed.
Yeah.
And it would be fine.
Okay.
It's just the removing of one little word.
Yeah, words matter, unfortunately.
Words do matter.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions for the councilwoman?
Yes. Sorry, Jimmy again. Dr. Cat. Would you ever stick a needle on me that was in the trash?
No.
Well, what if you said it was like magically needed to happen? So trash needles are okay.
No, trash needles are not okay.
Never okay. Trash needles are never okay.
No, trash never okay.
Okay. Well. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last but not least.
Alrighty. I am Barry McCockner at your service, and yeah, I don't have much to offer, not in terms of like legislation and nothing. I tend to just ramble on, honestly. I would like to mention that I am very much in favor of the that tourism thing that got brought up. As someone who has taken it upon myself to guide the newcomers to this city as often as I can, I have donated inordinate amounts of my own personal money towards helping folks realize their dreams when they come here. You know, they need a car, they need a bike or something. You know what? I'm always there to lend a helping hand. I was a master fisherman until these goddamn new fishing poles came in. I'm gonna die on this hill, by the way. The fishing poles need to come back. I've been told it's never gonna fucking happen, but Jesus Christ, I'm gonna die on this hill. We need them old fishing poles back.
I agree. Councilmember Williams, unfortunately derelict of his duties today, would definitely agree.
He'd love to hear that. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Say again.
Boblin's no longer on the council.
Yeah,
he was up for
his term.
re-election.
Yeah, he didn't run.
Oh, well, see, I was actually the fishing instructor for his little guild there. You know, I taught countless folks how to fish. You know, and I was real good at it too. It was a halfway decent way of making money in this city, and it's a good opportunity for young people to get out and experience nature, and in the quiet, peaceful solitude, just a young kid and grabbing a fish and going down and making a little bit of money and feeling good about themselves. And now with these new Chinese rods that just break if you look at them funny. I'm telling you. But yeah, so I definitely want to get them fishing poles back into the city. Also maybe some if I could figure out who makes these goddamn car parts and stuff as floor manager for third shift over at Benny's. I can't tell you how frustrating it is when folks come to me with the question and say, "Oh, hey Barry, I want this fancy part for my car," and I don't know I don't know how to make it better. I don't know how to make my car faster, and I can't give them a good answer. I can't say, "Oh, well, you got to try this, you got to try that," because the what was it, the Garrett turbo? We got 3 different kinds of turbos that can go into a car. The Garrett seems to be the only one that fucking works on dang near any of them, and it should be that where the manufacturer of the part or the folk who make the car should at least be able to write on the box that says, "Hey, this part actually gives you about 5% more horsepower or something. Gives you a little more top end. Give it a little more giddy up in your truck. You know." At least a little bit of something instead of all this science and guesswork. And I mean, sure, I could buy every part and put it on every car just for and write down my findings. But I mean, shit, I could die tomorrow, and no one would know what's in my head. But that's why I try to teach folks as much as I can.
Oh, that's
But
great.
I'm rambling.
Yeah, and
Please don't die.
Councilman McCockner,
Yeah,
I just want to say that your reputation for kindness towards the new arrivals, as well as Dr. Katz, is well known.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm definitely going to talk to both of you about getting involved in this, because I know how much you guys like to help out the new people that come into the city.
Oh yeah. We gotta get the young folk out back into reality and experience the joys of life. I mean, that's one of the reasons why my mountain therapy is always free and will forever be free. You know, I don't do nothing for the money. So if if it's something good for the folk of this city to get them up and energized and excited about the joys of being outside and touching grass and being in nature and experience the vibrancy that is this life that we live in this beautiful city, I want it. I want it to happen.
What activity? What one activity do you think would help? You said you were interested in this welcome wagon, which you can work with Councilmember Danon with for sure. What would be one thing that you would want or tell people to do to keep them interested in the city? Or
Like
what do you think we could do to help people be interested in the city?
Well, I do very much like his idea of them pamphlets. I think we could also take that maybe a little step further. And you know the newspaper stands, they always got outdated forms of the newspaper. If we could get one newspaper pamphlet that shows up in all the newspaper stands, that shows up in every issue, that just says like big old letters on top, maybe says tourism, a welcome or something like that. Just something with a couple little nuggets of wisdom to to help folks know where to go and how to get stuff done, or at the very least just where to come for answers.
No, I completely agree. All right.
That's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all about finding the information. I mean, I can only do so much with a tour, you know. I'd always be taking folks around, show them all the places to eat. Oh, that's where construction is. Oh, you go postal over there. Teach them all little tips and tricks to get the most out of their money. Because when they come here, it's it's always a grind, to get all that money. I mean, I'm retired. I'm a floor manager. I was a business owner for a little bit, but technically, I've been retired for this whole goddamn year, and I've been doing so much work, and it feels like I'm not retired after all. But you gotta you gotta keep working. You gotta keep teaching folks, and when the folks get here, they always gotta get the most out of their money as much as they can, and that can only come from options. And if they have the information or the ability to find that information as to how to do all of that sort of worthwhile, then that would be a key part of, I think, hooking them in and keeping them here, and keeping them excited about living in this beautiful city.
Do you mind working with Councilmember Daynob with the welcome wagon?
I do not mind. I would love to give a little bit of input. I will note that I am absolutely garbage at paperwork. I don't even I don't even think I have a key to the file cabinets in here.
We can get that squared away after the council meeting. I think.
Oh yeah, of course.
What, you think I smell or something? You mind working with Dana? What are you talking about?
I said I don't mind. It's
No,
my accent is
saying
fair.
I'm asking the question. Was a shower
Well, I
and
mean,
everything?
he might not. I mean,
Smells like his grandma's vagina.
Yep, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. So,
Mothballs.
on that note, does the council have any questions? No. Do the people have any questions for the council? No. Do the councilman have any other statements to make? Sorry.
I don't have any other statements to make. I don't think. Yeah. Anything else would just be further rambling. I tend to do that.
That's all right. Well, so it's this time we could open up the floor unless the council has any other statements to make. We'll open the floor to the people and any questions, concerns they might have, any range of topics. So it's with that I open the floor to the people.
Hello, Billy Falco. I speak in front of the council today to present the much awaited flight legislation that that many have spoken about, and that's been in high demand. I'm prepared. I'm prepared to deliver to you all, so that it can go to a vote. But essentially, the proposed way that the flight laws would work is that there would be a board that oversees the rules of flight. It would consist of a member of the police department, a member of the hospital / EMS / fire, a member appointed by the mayor's office, and a member from the flight school, and they would be the governing board. They would oversee administrative actions such as the the discipline of a pilot, or things such as the interfacing with with other government agencies, and they'd also be responsible for setting laws such as what are the restricted areas in which is flight. So like City Hall, for instance, is a restricted area for just as an example. While the board has not been formed yet, the rules have already been drafted. That way, there's no delay, and I'm prepared to submit that along with it, so that way the city council has an idea of how the board would operate.
All right.
I'm just gonna slip this under the door of the filing cabinet. Bear with me.
So you're at a podium.
Oh, apparently I can't slip it under the door. Mr. Mayor, I have slipped it in. I have sent you a fax, telepathically.
All right. All right. Well, I'll let the council go first, and then I'll make my statement. Council, you have any questions thus far about Billy's statement?
How many signatures have you collected for this proposal?
Because this was an initiative that actually predated the signature requirement, it's not needed.
According to who?
I'm going to ask
just
the
again,
judiciary to rule on that one, because technically
Mr.
you would
Falco.
still be required because it was never presented to the council, like in its entirety.
Technically, however,
Yeah,
it was
so
an
what
initiative that we all worked on together when I was part of city council.
Oh, no.
Again, I think the bar of entry is presented to the council. It was never presented.
Yeah.
Before. There was never. So,
However,
it wouldn't
the
grandfather
federal
in.
government has requested that it be brought forward. So I consider that enough signatures.
I'm gonna.
So you have no signatures from anyone besides
correct.
someone from the federal government.
Yes.
Who?
The federal government.
Let's wait. Let's.
They just asked that the legislation
Vinny,
be brought.
You know my ruling. That's how I look at it. I mean, you would need, in my opinion, you would need to get. If I'm going by the Constitution, you would need to get signatures. Now we have the constitutionalist of all constitutionalists here, Vinny, and you could rule on that or give his assent or whatever on it. But as it stands right now, you would be required to get signatures.
I would like to hear the Chief Justice, if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind. I think we're probably rolling the same.
Sure.
Manner.
I always have opinions. My name, of course, still Vinny. I haven't changed it. All right. So the owner, the director of the flight school has authority to levy any sort of penalties and punishments for, say, operator failure of an aircraft. Is that correct?
No, the board does.
Okay. So you say the flight director is on the board?
Yes.
Okay. Does that make sense to police yourself through the board?
When it's a vote of 4 people, yes. Of
Okay, great.
experts and legal experts.
Okay, great. Who would be the director of this flight school?
I'm the director of the flight school.
Okay, great. As the director of the flight school, have you ever been in any aircraft incidents?
Vinny.
Yes, sir.
Before we get into all of the details of this bill, right?
Sure.
The question I think the council would like answered is, is he required, as the Constitution states in the City Council section, to get the number of signatures to present the bill to the council, considering the bill was never presented to the council previously.
The bill was never presented. He would need those signatures. However, I do have some more. Actually, I have questions along that line as well.
We wanted
That's
that
it.
answer
That's
first,
just
and
that.
then-
Oh,
Answers
come
the
on.
question.
I've
You
got
can sit
so
back
much
down.
more.
That's fine. No,
no.
sit down.
Another day, brother. Another day.
Answer
Hold
the
on.
question.
Oh.
Thank you for your time.
Council member, I'm running the show here. All right. So, on that note, if you have anything else besides that, Chief Justice, to state on the bill,
I do. I
go-
do
go
actually.
ahead.
As we'll continue on the line of of needing the signatures and how long this initiative has been around. How long has this initiative been around, by the way?
A long time.
A long time. And in that long time, have you presented any legislation up until this point?
There was quite a bit of discussion about it, and
With whom? With whom, may I ask?
the legislative sessions with the,
Sir,
with
I'm
the rest of the
speaking
council.
with whom? With whom? Can you answer
just
the question,
answered you.
please? Okay. So in that long time, at no point was any bill presented, correct?
Copies of the bill were submitted to the mayor.
Mr. Mayor, were bills submitted?
To the council? No.
To the
Okay.
mayor
Oh,
on multiple
To the-
occasions.
To me, it's not the council.
right. Okay. So in that time when everybody was yelling at you, hey, you should probably do something with this or else they're going to take it away, did you do anything?
I didn't, but now I have.
Okay. So they took it away because of inaction.
Not exactly.
Are you currently the flight director?
Yes, I am.
You are. Do you have access to pulling out aircraft currently?
Yes, I do.
You do. Okay.
I had no intention
then
of
this-
using them at the moment until there's legislation in place.
Of course, that would be some sort of corruption, which you would never do.
No.
Right. No, I got you. Okay. So I have other questions. As the flight director, this flight board that you would be sitting on, you are in charge of handing out penalties for any sort of accidents involving aircraft. Is that correct?
Based on strict guidelines.
Strict
the
guidelines.
board would
What would be the strict guidelines? Landing in places that are not designated for aircraft to land. Say
that
fields.
is one of them.
Okay. Have you ever landed next to a
actually-
gas station in a helicopter at a non-designated location?
Do you intend to let anybody answer any questions, or are you just going to keep
Absolutely not, sir.
ranting
I'm
your-
asking you a question, sir.
Your Majesty. So the way that the FAA and many others treat landing is that excuse me, private property may be landed on, provided that that you have the permission of the owner or manager, and the and it is a safe place to land.
Okay. Is landing next to a gas station considered private property?
I don't know. I mean, people own gas stations.
Have you ever landed next to a gas station, sir?
I don't recall.
Oh, okay. Have you ever landed on a flatbed of a pickup truck of some sort? Maybe not a pickup truck, but a flatbed truck.
Where are you going with this?
I'm asking these questions.
Do you just not want any legislation to pass the city?
Have you landed on the back of a flatbed?
Yeah, tell that communist fuck to get off the stage.
I was in the army. I did a lot of stuff.
No, what I'm talking about.
Okay. Have you done it in this city?
It's not relevant.
This is
Oh, it's
beautiful.
absolutely relevant. You're the flight director. You said there are strict guidelines. Are you following these strict guidelines yourself, sir?
The guidelines weren't in place yet, and they're still not in place.
Is there a punishment for operator incidents of a collision or not a collision, but any sort of accident involving aircraft?
Yes, and they're in line with FAA standards.
Great. Have you ever been involved in any sort of aircraft crash while in the city as the flight director?
Due to situations
it's a yes
beyond
or no question, sir. It's a yes or no question.
Due to situations beyond control, yes.
Do you feel that if it's beyond your control, you should be flying in a helicopter or any other aircraft?
That doesn't make.
Would you
question
not
doesn't make
do
any sense.
any sort of proper
Sometimes shit
safety
just
check?
happens.
Oh, does it?
No,
Okay, great. Were there
actually,
any? Did you
did you know
punish
that it-
yourself for that?
Did you know that if you again the standard didn't exist at the time, but did you know
Oh.
that if you
But who's
you
gonna
really have
police
no
the
intention of
people
you just
that are running this? That's a good question, though.
did you know that if you fly
Who's gonna investigate you?
if you, well again it's the board.
But
Gravity.
if you're leading the board, you're investigating yourself. If you're on the board.
Well, I mean, if I was being investigated, then I would sit that vote out.
Who else would be on this board? Did you say?
A member of the hospital, a member of the PD.
So the medical
and,
director.
No,
And
whoever the hospital. Vinny, you know what, Vinny? Do you have any intention of actually listening to what I'm saying, or you just want to put anything down that anybody proposes? Because you know what?
The bottom
not
line
a
is
single bill
not
has
the
passed.
bottom line is
Not a single bill that the city council
I'm
has
in dereliction
passed
of duty.
since
We can
September
impeach me.
has
Right.
gone through.
Impeach
And
his
you know
ass.
what? You suck
Sir, sir.
as a justice.
I do. Would you like my
Yes,
job?
because you know what? You've killed the morale of the city council and the people. You have no intention of you have no intention of allowing anybody to progress anything within this city.
Okay.
And you love it because it's your little king,
Absolutely
His
not.
Majesty.
Absolutely not. That's not my job.
Yeah, but that's what you treat it like.
Okay. When you had all of this time to do something, you did nothing by your own admission.
Yeah,
correct?
but you know what? I have it.
But-
I have
But
it
now
and
you've
that's
changed, right?
I wrote the bill. I had time.
You had plenty of time before. A long time were your words.
Under what grounds do you have the authority to be asking me these questions?
I'm a concerned
Well,
citizen
I mean,
who has
if
concerns
that's
about
the
Thank God we have a therapist at
managing
Billbox for
the
these
flight
two. They
school.
should use it.
No. If that's the question.
Are we in court right now?
I'm granting the authority from the.
No, I think
House
this is
right
couples
now.
counseling.
Okay, well I've learned nothing.
So,
Thank you.
Again, this goes back to what I said about the Constitution. I cannot choose and pick and choose when I follow the Constitution. The Constitution is there, and it's a steadfast document that is at the ready at all times. I cannot go against the Constitution, or I might be voted out of office by the council here. So again, you have to present the bill because you're not a council member, and it wasn't officially presented to the council with the proper amount of signatures to bring it to the council. I can't choose and pick and choose when I follow the Constitution. Yes, Deputy.
Unless a member of the council chooses to bring it up on my behalf.
That's true. That's true. It sounds like you got some lobbying to do. Deputy, go ahead.
I have a concern with this. How are you going to be doing background checks on these prospective pilots? Are you going to be running it through the PD at all, or the sheriff's department? What if they have violent felon statuses? Are you going to allow them to administer and pilot these vehicles to potentially use for any sort of potential nefarious schemes or anything like that?
So the rule that will be in place is that absolutely no illegal use and nothing in connection with illegal use, no criminal acts will be allowed with flight, because it's been made very clear that if that were to occur, the federal government will just remove flight from the whole city. So the rules are just going to be absolute that no aircraft may be used in the commission of a crime or adjacent to a crime.
How can you prove it?
Would that crime include white collar?
In what sense?
Like corruption?
I mean, I guess.
Is jaywalking included?
How would you jaywalk with a helicopter?
I mean, if I commit a crime of jaywalking, will I be able to fly?
We're referring to violent.
Yeah.
I'm asking a
Gotcha.
question about violent felon status, not infraction.
I mean,
I had
I was
background checks ran through about these potential pilots.
well. I was going to leave that to the board to vote on, because I could go either direction on it, given the zero tolerance policy. However, I was going to leave that for the board to vote on, because it should not be a decision that just I make.
Have you talked to the sheriff's office at all about, like the sheriff about any of this at all, in general?
I have in the past. I've had
I'm talking about
extensive
the current
conversations with
sheriff.
the PD. I've spoken with Dazzler, who's the head of flight.
Okay. Have you talked to the sheriff?
I was directed to Dazzler.
Okay.
What about the fire chief?
I speak with the fire chief all the time.
About this.
About this.
Yeah.
And the medical
In
director?
fact, I'm training the fire chief on how to fly.
He is.
So my next question is: have you had violent felons watch you during these training exercises?
Anybody can watch me however they want.
With government personnel training, they're allowed to.
If it's training on Angel One, there's no secrets. It's not Air One. It's Angel One.
It's not.
Okay, so I'm going to reiterate this because I've actually had a conversation with the director of the medical department that's not the case. You're not supposed to bring any sort of violent felon within range of watching, viewing, potentially training them under any guise.
That never happened.
That's incorrect.
No, the individuals in question were allowed to watch a helicopter flying. There's nothing wrong with that. A helicopter.
No, you took them to watch you do training exercises with a government body under. Yes, you saying they're watching.
And you commanded, and you told the director of the hospital that if it was ever happened again, that you would arrest them. So you made the law, and you dictated to the director of the hospital that was the case.
That's not the case at all.
To watch you.
I want people to watch. I am all about engaging with people. I don't care who they are or what their background is. They were interested in flight, and I'm friendly with them.
I'm not sure the council's place to figure out the validity of whether or not the SOPs would allow for felon or anyone in the room or who the audience might be for training. Will be obviously.
They weren't receiving.
I'm not saying that it's.
They weren't receiving lessons. They were watching us fly a helicopter, which they could do from a public place.
Should we table this?
Billy, I'm trying to say here that I'm not for or against it at all. I don't think this is the place for it, is what I'm saying. But in the interest of time and to move this forward, do you have any other questions, Ben? Statements?
No, I don't. Thank you.
All right, I appreciate it. All right, sir.
Hey, how's it going? Name's Rex Roberts. Live up in Sandy Shores. Mine's gonna be really brief. I don't trust the idea of this man being on any kind of board whatsoever, considering his very first city council meeting, he tried to levy the city council to be named the Senate.
You're saying, and this man, you mean Billy Falco?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's all I had to say.
For the record, none of what he just said is accurate.
I remember that day. You sounded like an ass, and you still sound like an ass.
All right. Anyone else have any statements, questions, concerns? This council meeting. No, does council have anything else to say?
Flying is really cool, and I love to do it again.
Say that again. Sorry.
Yeah, this is fun.
Flying is really cool, and I'd love to get into doing it again.
Yes, and it's with that, I hope, Billy, you take that inspiration and you work their channels that you need. And it's on that note, meeting adjourned.
I would clap. That was.
Oh, I'm gonna go try to sell newspapers.
Hey, Pete. Fun to watch.
Oh, hey, Pete. Yeah, go chat with Billy.
Okay. I mean, that was pretty interesting.
Could do it.
I need food.
Where'd he go? Let's go find him.
Bang the cabinets over. All right.
Yeah, that was something.
Well, let's see how far I make it before I die.
Well then, you want to walk outside?
Yeah. No, I need food.
It's got a burger here. I interacted with the Chief Justice before.
I gotta make my way over to Bahama Mama's. I gotta see if Miss May.
Through this.
Luigi, do you have
Thank you.
something to eat on you,
See if
please,
you're
for the love
around.
of God? I've been starving
I
for the
don't.
past
I have
Here,
water. I have
Kelsey,
water.
come here.
I have a burger, dear.
I've been starving for the past hour.